All right, everyone. So today we got the cock with us again, and we are going to be talking about episode 104. So basically, some bullshit happened in 104, but I kind of enjoyed the episode. For what it's worth, the episode was great. You just have, some shitty members of the community that like to start shit over nothing. So we got some shit to debunk and talk about. So, Cuckster Fuckster, why don't you talk about some shit that happened in the episode?
Okay, so before we debunk anything, I like to wank myself off a little bit with my, precognition abilities, because I fucking called it months ago when these two motherfuckers were gonna team up. All right, these two bofos are gonna team up. I fucking told y'all. Anyways, so like, essentially, the first thing we're gonna debunk is that apparently, we just reached light speed in Dragonball Super, because it was stated that Dyspo could fight it, with speed of sound, and he could surpass the speed of light,
implying the speed of sound and light are even relative to each other at all. They're two completely different things. Like the speed of sound is more like bullet level, dude. Like that's like early DB. I don't know what they were thinking with that at all. But anyway, continue.
Anyways, the main point is, a bunch of people are already saying, oh, that no one, barely anyone's light speed, or Goku can just reach light speed with Super Saiyan God and all that shit. Even though, first off, he surpasses the speed of light, so, that already, debunks anything that says that they're not light speed. And not to mention, we have several feats from the main series, we're not counter-arguing with our headcanon. This is shit from the series itself, that Toriyama himself fucking, wrote. So, for example, one of the most popular feats is when Raditz, basically reacted to Piccolo's attack that, was pretty much relativistic, if not light speed, because he destroyed the moon in a couple seconds.
Yep.
And then, and then from then on, we see Frieza and all these other characters basically speed blitzing each other. And, they're basically able to counteract and react to each other's, energy attacks, which are much faster than Piccolo's attacks from the early Dragon Ball saga.
Yeah, even in the dynamic anime, Goku is going across the universe at trillions of times the speed of light because he's across the actual whole universe. It's basically a quadrant, at least a quadrant in distance, at least on the Dragon Ball map, which isn't drawn to scale, but location-wise, it should be almost a quadrant's distance away. And Goku has to travel across this quadrant, which could be billions and billions of galaxies, in 6 days. And in the anime, he's on top of his ship going trillions of times the speed of light. So he was on the top of his ship, dodging asteroids, this fucking trillions of times the speed of light going dynamic. And then during his fight with Frieza, even though he crossed Namek in an instant, by the way, which should have been the speed of light if he went Super Saiyan.
Right.
He then hurls a death ball Frieza throws at him and into outer space, into another planet, instantaneously. So it's yeah, it's pretty clear that at least the speed of light by at least Dragon Ball Z, let alone early Dragon Ball, which they may have, but I find that wank. And then, of course, Kid Buu obliterates, billions of fucking, solar systems within a few years, which would be faster than light. And then it's I had this guy on Twitter who's well, Seth, the writers can retcon things. I'm some fucking idiot said they just retconned everything in Dragon Ball Z. They retconned all the feats, and only this feat mattered. I was all right, bro. So you're telling me random Toei writers having this one hyperbolic statement, which, by the way, these are the same guys that said that one of the characters from one of the other universes, his body was harder than iron. The same people who wrote that someone's body is harder than iron is supposed to be impressive is above everything Toriyama put into the anime or manga. No, stop, please. It's very, and also they said faster than the speed of light, which is very vague, and that's how writers do it because writers aren't scientists, or they aren't power scalers like we are, for example. But
they're gonna say, "Oh, he's traveling a quadrillion times the speed of light." People are gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. There's also the scene where Zeno sees Dyspo fighting. Well, he doesn't see him fighting. He's I can't see these guys fighting, and Vados, Caulifla, and God Goku can. So it's are they stronger than Zeno now? And that's probably not the case. That's probably not the case. Zeno is really, we don't know anything about him. We don't know how he works. We don't know if he's like just suppressing himself to a certain level or how he even functions. He had to be like, he had like watched the fights in slow motion. Maybe he just wanted to watch them more precisely. I'm not too sure what he wanted to do. Well, I mean, you can imply that Hit and Dyspo are way stronger than Goku versus Hit as well. And that brings us up to another point, is that Goku in a weaker Super Saiyan God form is now somewhat a rival to a stronger Hit. And Goku even, Champa actually mentions that Goku and Hit's rematch with the Shockwave Punch. And then Goku even implies that he's even stronger than he was during their rematch. So that's pretty crazy. And then Goku's still like matching a foe that he was fighting as just Super Saiyan God, which is weaker than Super Saiyan Blue. So that's pretty fucking crazy. But other than that, I guess that's the whole episode, everything we need to talk about that. But now we just need to get into lore. You guys know about Saiyan Beyond God, like absorbing Super Saiyan God into base form. We need to talk about that. So why don't you give up your first points?
Okay, so a bunch of idiots try to come at me on Twitter. They're like saying, "Oh, you know, like that it's bullshit that Goku absorbed, you know, the power of the God form in his base," even though it's stated numerous times.
They're fucking
Beerus himself, Beerus himself says it seems that you absorb the power made into your own. Like the narrator says that Goku like surpassed the power of Super Saiyan God, and he was just a Super Saiyan. And then we even see, like, I think before the cutscene F arc, that Beerus says to base Goku and Vegeta that they got a lot stronger since the last time they fought.
Yeah.
Right. So like, and then, you know, Saiyan Beyond God, as you said.
Yeah, here's something people don't understand. I was also looking at this in comments, like, how could Goku have absorbed Super Saiyan God if people could still sense his base form? I'm like, okay, they don't get it. Here's what happened. Okay, Super Saiyan God faded out, but it didn't just disappear. What happened with Super Saiyan God is that his base form isn't Super Saiyan God. It's as strong as Super Saiyan God. Now, let me explain this. Super Saiyan God turned into power Goku could use, stated by Beerus, which is normal ki that people could sense. This was also in Battle of Gods as well, where Goku didn't know he untransformed or whatever, and people could sense his ki. Goku surpassed Super Saiyan God as a Super Saiyan, and then at the end of the fight, at least in the anime, Goku absorbs the powers fully, and his base form is stronger than Super Saiyan God. And then after training with Whis, he learns to harness it, and some games even call this a transformation, which is called Saiyan Beyond God, which is basically a Saiyan that's beyond even the God state. It's just his normal Saiyan form. This is shown a few times. Mainly it's shown versus Frieza, and it's shown against Beerus as well when Beerus dresses up as Monaka. And this is after the tournament as well, where he uses Kaioken times 10. So basically, he's fighting Beerus, and Beerus actually has fun fighting base Goku, and Whis
he was like screaming and shit.
Yeah, Beerus was having a lot of fun fighting just base Goku, and he didn't have fun with anybody until Super Saiyan God. Even Super Saiyan God, he didn't even really have that much fun. And then Whis has to stop the fight between Beerus and base Goku. Like, what the fuck? Stop a fight with base Goku. It's because Saiyan Beyond God never actually disappeared. It's still a thing. It's just currently it's written weird. And the thing with Super Saiyan God is that in theory, he should be able to use Super Saiyan God. If he can use Super Saiyan Blue, which is just like God key amped Super Saiyan, then why can't he have like God key amped base? It's not like his base form is somehow structured differently. And here's another thing. People were like, okay, if that were the case, then couldn't he just stack on Super Saiyan God infinitely and just increase his power over and over again? And then here's the thing. With the first Super Saiyan God, his power was exponentially magnified by other people giving him that power. It wasn't, and then he absorbed like the exponential increase of energy he acquired on top of that God key and turned it into his base key that he could use all the time. When he himself goes into Super Saiyan God, it's his own God key. He's creating it himself. So if he absorbs his own key, nothing's gonna fucking change, right? I thought that'd be pretty self-explanatory. I guess not. Fuck me. So I hope that explains what Saiyan Beyond God is. I mean, Geekdom was even wild about this on Twitter as well. I might show a few of his tweets. And there's also some examples of this of Goku and Frieza. Like when Frieza returned for the third time they fought, Goku is shown obviously using Saiyan Beyond God to fight off High energy that Frieza was sweating with. So I can't say for 100% certain what the multiplier for Super Saiyan God is compared to Super Saiyan Blue on top of Saiyan Beyond God, but it's no different than how it would have been for the anime. Well, I mean, for the manga. So nothing's really changed. It just seems like some writer bullshit. And remember, always, Toriyama greater than Toei. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to Chuck. Till next time.
Peace out, hoes.